Man, let me tell you something. Because of Ooh Baby, Smokey the Robinson, Viagra or not, will always be able to knock me down. Better press it. Marvin threw a pretty pass. You tried the standards once, Dad, and it didn't work. But I got a plan, man, said Marvin, looking at me in his sly-eyed manner. I got a different approach. Maybe if I sing a whole album of Nat King Cole songs. Holland Dozier Holland got some songs for your ass. And I got a few myself. The standards, Dad would say. I'm going to score with the standards. He'd already scored with Stubborn Kind of Fellow, a self-describing number, if there ever was one. Mickey was director of A&R, artist and repertoire, and one of Motown's main characters. Martha Reeves was his secretary. She was also bonkers for Barry. See what I mean? His ass will say something without saying it. Are you trying to tell me that the Martha Reeves, maybe, when Diana Ross was going outside to run an errand for the Berry Gordy, are you trying to tell me that the Martha Reeves slid in there with the Berry Gordy and did some errands for him too in the office? I see you, brother. Mickey was a musical cat who reminded me of King Fish on Amos and Andy. Always willing and dealing. He'd run shit on you, then look up to see if you were buying his bull. When the song comes out, he'd said, angling for a piece of brighter share, I'll straighten you out. Angling was part of those early days. The company couldn't have survived without it. I loved the company, but sometimes I hated the company. My responsibility was new talent, which is why I can testify that much of what's been written about Motown's manipulations is unadulterated bullshit. Smokey the Robinson, you bullshitting me in this book. I signed the acts, I saw the contracts. I know that the deals offered were straight ahead and for those days standard as the 12-bar blues. The writers received their royalties like clockwork. Motown, through Jobette Music, published the songs and owned the copyrights. But why not? That was industry policy. Record companies exploited the songs written by their artists and staff writers. When that policy started changing in the early 70s, Motown started changing as well. In fact, you'll see that some of the Motown artists like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder set a pace for the industry to follow. I hear you, Smokey. You're saying that Motown ain't do nothing no different from any other company. White, black, Asian, Indian, whatever. Okay. And that's Smokey's, I guess, his answer to the question, do you think Motown took advantage of its artists? Answer no. You better accuse everybody else of the same shiz because Motown ain't do nothing no different from what everybody else do. That's not the point, Smokey. What the artist is saying, being as though this is a black-owned company, the black artist had a sense of ease. They felt as if brother man won't do to me what the white man do. So I believe that their guards were down. On top of that, Barry set a standard of family, that he was the papa, Ray Norma was the mama, and Smokey, you were the uncle. Okay, and Claudette was the auntie. I feel like because you are giving the artist a sense of family, that causes them to let their guard down even further. So at the end of the day, when they find out that you've treated them the same way that a non-black company would, they're shocked. Very much so. And I get it. Smoke, have you been following my new record? Diane asked me. It's burning up the charts. We were walking up West Grand Boulevard to Cunningham's drugstore down the street from Hitsville. Diane was bubbling over. Inside, she ordered a banana split, and I got me a double chocolate milkshake. You realize, Smokey, she continued, that Where Did Our Love Go is number one. Pop. By 1964, the Supremes and Four Tops' long list of Holland Dozier Holland mega hits had begun. Barry poured a large part of the profits back into the company. Now, this is where I remind you all of something that I said before. Basically, Motown was a co-op. It's like a co-op, like a HOA. It's like everybody throws their money into a pot to make sure that the entire area is well groomed. Unfortunately, some of them motherfuckers don't be paying that HOA fee. Like insurance also, because insurance ain't nothing but goop, okay? I've been with this same company for fucking years, okay? Ain't never had an accident in about 25, 30 years. And my insurance steady going up. But I'm going to call them motherfuckers, okay? Because I'm about to put a firm stop to their shenanigans. What? I'm over 50. I ain't had an accident in fucking 30 almost years. Yeah, about 30 years. And my insurance is almost $200. You better go somewhere, goddamn. I will leave your bitch ass and go to AARP insurance. Keep with me. I got this different perspective when I read the Murray Wells book. And then now that Smokey Robinson is confirming what I thought or what I feel, it makes more sense. Unfortunately, how it works is that your money, some of your money goes to support some of the new artists coming out. And when they hit, they're going to, you know what it's like, Social Security. By 1964, the Supremes and Four Tops' long list of Holland Dozier Holland mega hits had begun. Barry poured a large part of the profits back into the company. He bought 4 other 2-story houses on West Grand. He also bought himself a mansion in my childhood neighborhood on Boston Boulevard, just down the street from where Cecil and Aretha lived with their dad, Reverend C.L. Franklin, where there used to be old beat-up Fords and Chevys parked in front of the Motown bungalows. Now you'd see Cadillacs in every color of the rainbow. Soon as the new models came out, we'd be down at the dealers scooping them up. Diamonds would be flashing, furs flying, gold glittering. It was great while it lasted, but in show business, like life, nothing's certain. And as soon as some of those folks stopped making money or found the tax man breaking down their doors, they didn't blame themselves, God forbid. They blamed Barry. Long as they were having hits and generating cash, Barry was God. But the minute the hits stopped, or their money got funny, Barry was Satan. My top reason for calling Barry the Gordy Satan is because he tried to separate lead singers from the group behind the group's back, like Levi. He tried to steal Levi, okay? He tried to make Levi the Billy D. Williams of Motown behind the Four Tops. Barry was in a peculiar spot. He liked hanging out at Hitsville with the cats, shooting pool, playing poker. But he also had to be the boss. If I'm not a hard ass, he once told me after firing a friend, this place will go belly up and I'll have no one to blame but myself. Okay, I respect that. This is how I look at it. If I hire my friend, then I expect for you to have the same loyalty to this business as you do to me. Because I'm choosing you and I'm trying to put you on. Don't come in here with these shenanigans. I need you to be 100 to me in this business the way that you are in our friendship. And if you are not, then that's going to come in between our friendship because I bring you in as a friend. Okay, so I get it. When the Supremes started their strings of smashes, Where Did Our Love Go? Baby Love, Come See About Me, Stop in the Name of Love, Back in My Arms Again, Barry decided to manage the group himself. He saw their potential for even greater profit. He knew he needed to protect his property. After all, we'd discovered and developed the Supremes against the wolves in the industry. You see the way he calls the Supremes property? Okay. That's a concern to me. I myself was looking to expand. I especially liked cashing those $1,000 bonus checks we'd get for writing #1 hits. As a producer, I was always looking for the sleeping giants at Motown, the singers being overlooked. Fortunately, I found two. The first was David Ruffin of The Temptations. I loved that group. I knew them back before they were the Primes, when they were the Distance. Oh, this was Williams in the Distance. Okay. I liked the way the cats looked. Each of them tall, thin, and handsome. I called them the Five Deacons and grooved on their inventive background blends. I had a happy history with the Temps. The first thing I done on them, I Want a Love I Can See. Oh, I love that song. I Want a Love I Can See. Paul Williams was the lead singer on that one. Oh, I love that song. Sold locally, but they were still looking for their first national hit. I thought I found it when driving into Detroit. Bobby Rogers helped me finish The Way You Do the Things You Do. You got a smile so bright. Ooh, ooh, you know you should have been the candle. I'm holding you so tight. Ooh, ooh. When we got home, I told Barry about the song. Don't bother, Smoke. Barry told me I already got a hit for the Temps. But Barry, I insisted. I got the sure enough smash. We're about to release mine. Will you give me a couple of days to record my thing? Go ahead. But I'm telling you, Smoke, you're wasting your time. A couple of days later, even after hearing The Way You Do the Things You Do, Barry still wasn't convinced. Like mine better, he said. Let's test them. Why? He asked. Afraid of losing? I wanted to know. Well, no, let's go. You know them Sagittarians, they always gambling, on their car, their house, their children. Okay, I'll give you my second son. If the horse can't do no wrong, don't come in first place. Afraid of losing? I wanted to know. Hell no, let's go. We played it for secretaries, for the postman, for people passing by on the street. We played it for anyone we could find, and I'm proud to report that Berry Gordy, genius he is, didn't get a single vote. We released The Way You Do the Things You Do with Eddie Kendricks singing lead, and the Temps had their big record. Now I dug Eddie, but I saw David back there waiting to explode. Finally, with the help of Ronnie White, I wrote something I knew was right for Ruffin. It happened when the Miracles and Temps were on the same week-long bill at the Apollo. In between shows, I dragged David down to the piano where I'd show him this song while the other Temps honed their harmonies. Back in Detroit, we cut the sucker. So many things were happening so quickly, I soon forgot about it. Couple of months later, Barry called me to the office. Man, I got some serious news for you. Good or bad? The best. A check for a cool $1,000. Fantastic. My first thought was that the Miracles, ooh baby, had gone #1. It's #1 in my pants, Smokey. It's always going to be #1 in my pants. Man, let me tell you something. Because of ooh baby, Smokey the Robinson, Viagra or not, will always be able to knock me down. Better press on. Fantastic. My first thought was that the Miracles, ooh baby, had gone #1. It's not the Miracles, it's the Temps. The tune I cut on David last year, my guy went #1 on Mary Wells, said Barry, grinning ear to ear. But this year, this new one, it got sunshine on a cloudy day. Man, every time I read a Motown book, I flash back to Cooley High. Because remember when Preach was walking the cheap dollar bet, Brenda, to his house? Ooh, he was wooing her. I don't know if he was reading her Edgar Allan Poe or, reciting it. I don't know what the hell. But by the time they walked to his house, Brenda got naked. But this year, this new one, this my guy, is going to be even bigger. David Ruffin's going to be a star. And your song's going to be a legend. Some folks figured I wrote Don't Mess With Bill about myself. Wrong. Just like the way the name sung. It was a song I wrote and produced on the Marvelettes. Up till then, Gladys Horton had handled the leads. But Wanda Young had caught my ear with her sexy country voice. I saw her as untapped talent. So I tailor-made the tune for her and was thrilled when it sold like gangbusters. Nothing thrilled me more, though, than helping our dad. Marvin Gaye was hurting. Sales-wise, he was in a valley. His Sinatra plan had fizzled, and like everyone else at Motown, he was hungry for a hit.